Hey guys, welcome to the Campaigner Gamer. If you clicked on this video, you're here to see 10 games like God of War. Alright guys, at number 1, we have Spider-Man Web of Shadows. At least to me, when this game released, it had great graphics. I loved traversing through Manhattan via web swinging. It was exhilarating. I really enjoyed how you could switch between the Spidey suits, the red, the blue, the symbiote. The symbiote Spidey suit was definitely my favorite. The way you could use it may as well have been a clone of Kratos' Blades of Chaos. Picking up and throwing cars was a blast as well. Beating the shit out of symbiote Wolverine is a super fun experience as well. I do believe that this game is a ton of fun, and I always find myself going back to play it at least once a year. This game is super pricey physically. It comes in at around 45 to 65 bucks complete in box for the 360 or PS3 version. During the COVID outbreak, this thing reached about 80 to 100 bucks. At number 2, we have Bayonetta series. I loved Bayonetta when I initially played it on the PlayStation 3. That when Bayonetta 2 came out on the Wii U as an exclusive, it was a system seller for me. This series is extremely fun, lighthearted, comical, and has great boss encounters. There's a ton of enemy variety to destroy. The game doesn't get stale. Bayonetta has a great difficulty level with dozens of combos to learn with different weapons to use. I really enjoy the atmospheric music, and I find myself humming a lot of these tracks to this day. Fun fact, Bayonetta is playable on the Switch version of Super Smash Bros. At number 3, we have Castlevania Lord of Shadows. Huge Castlevania fan here. One of my all-time favorite games is Symphony of the Night. I love the graphical aesthetic of this game. It's really great looking. The combat is fun, fast-paced, and gory as the God of War. The game isn't perfect though. There were some bugs and slowdown when you'd have a lot of action on the screen. Currently, I've been playing this game on the Steam Deck and it runs and looks glorious. The game is super inexpensive on PS3 and 360, but I believe Steam is the way to go. It runs much better and you get all of the DLC. At number 4, we have Conan. Even though this game is a direct ripoff of God of War, it makes you feel like you're Conan the Barbarian, and that's a great thing. This game is extremely gory. You're able to decapitate foes' heads, rip off arms, slice foes in half, and even rip your foes' intestines out. Just like I like it. I recently popped this game into my Series X to give it a shot, and it looks pretty dated, like a late PS2, early PS3 game. It is extremely fun though. I didn't want to put it down. Just like the God of War series, there are giant boss creatures to destroy with QuickTime events. Would have been really neat if they would have been able to get Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice for this game. This game is very inexpensive and exclusive to the PS3 and 360. At number 5, we have Dante's Inferno. This is another God of War ripoff, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The game's setting is primarily in hell. You're using Death himself's scythe. The game is actually backwards compatible on the Series X, and it's upscaled to 4K at 60 frames per second. It looks phenomenal. Dante's Inferno is as gory as God of War with thousands of demonic enemies to slay. There are gigantic bosses in this one as well, quick time events, and even nudity. Actually, there's nudity within the first 5 minutes of the game. Dante's Inferno runs beautifully on the Steam Deck using a PS3 emulator. At number 6, we have XMEN Origins Wolverine. This may be my very favorite on this list. You could tell that a lot of love went into this one, and the creators of this game really love Wolverine. He's extremely badass. The game is probably the most gory on this list. There's decapitations, lost limbs, and other Wolverine badassery. It's so cool how you get to see Wolverine regenerate after combat and big boss fights. It's awesome sauce. The game has a lot of fan service, Wolverine's yellow and blue costume, and even a giant sentinel for you to fight. The game makes you feel like Wolverine. He's fast, furious, brutal, and a ton of fun to use. I really love this one. Everybody should play this game. At number 7, we have Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. You're probably thinking Metal Gear, that's going to be slow. There's slow takedowns, hiding bodies, and camouflage. Well, this game is definitely not that. It's cyborg ninjas, gigantic enemies, and samurai swords galore. Combat is beautiful. It's elegant, slick, fast, fluid, and most importantly, it's fun as heck. My favorite thing is this mechanic where you can slow down time and hack your enemies into a bunch of little pieces. It's amazing. This game runs great on the Series X at a locked 60 frames per second, even during extremely crazy fight sequences. It also runs great on the Steam Deck. I love this game. At number 8, we have Darksiders. I really enjoyed this game. It has a great comic book look. It runs smooth, looks great, sounds great, and it's kept me engaged the whole game. In this game, you get to play as one of the 4 horsemen, War. I suggest cranking up the difficulty to get the most out of this game, as it's on the short side, only clocking in at about 15 hours. It runs great on the Series X. It's locked at a 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. Even though this game is similar to God of War in a lot of ways, it's very similar to The Legend of Zelda with a lot of great puzzles. At number 9, we have DMC, Devil May Cry. This game gets a lot of hate for being a Devil May Cry reboot, but it's ultra violent and has far more attitude and guns than Kratos ever had. The story in this game is incredible. I really wish they would have continued this story instead of the classic Devil May Cry series. The visuals on this game are top notch, even though they can get a bit choppy on the PS3 and 360. I suggest playing this one on PS4 and Xbox One. Give this one a chance, guys. It's one of my favorites on this list. It's very inexpensive. This game was created by Ninja Theory. They've created hits like Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, Enslaved Odyssey to the West, and the last game on this list. At number 10 on this list, we have Heavenly Sword. For an early PS3 title, this game looks very nice. The cutscenes were top notch. Currently, this game is a PS3 exclusive. I know, there's ways to emulate it and play it, but I kind of wish Sony would remaster this one or give us a sequel. Heavenly Sword's main character, Noriko, is a badass. She'd beat the crap out of Dante, Wolverine, and Kratos any day of the week. I'm just kidding. Like most of the games on this list, the combat is fun, fast, fluid, and a ton of fun. Noriko even has blades on chains similar to Kratos's. If you haven't played this game, I suggest you give it a try. It's a little on the short side at 8 to 10 hours, but I believe it's worth your time. Alrighty guys, thanks for tuning in today to 10 games like God of War. We really appreciate you watching. If you could, give this video a share with your friends and family if you're so inclined. It really helps us grow. Also, if you could like and subscribe, that also helps the channel grow and get out to more viewers like you. We really appreciate you watching. Have a great day.